Hi everyone, it's Mary Jo. Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't seen the reading I've just put up for the full moon lunar eclipse, it's happening today on September 27th, Sunday. Please check it out. It took 2 days to get it uploaded. I did it Friday night after work, and with Mercury in retrograde, well, everything that could go wrong did. So it only got put up like early this morning, and now I'm doing the weekly reading, so it'll be more a brief reading. And it seems to be mirroring everything that we've been talking about the last few weeks. So this reading will cover from Monday the 28th till October 4th. So we have the theme, challenge, advice, and resolve. Again, we have judgment. And if you've been reading and following my readings and watching my videos, you see judgment has been coming up a lot. So I have to say, for a general reading, it looks like a lot of us are still in the need to call up and release things from the past that we haven't dealt with. With judgment, it's talking about us being entombed. It's talking about us carrying things with us that we thought that we had called up and dealt with and released a long time ago, that we haven't. It's talking about it's time to release ourselves, face all these things that we think we fear, and let them go. And the Fool in the Journey, when he comes to judgment, he sees this beautiful and fearsome angel in the sky with a trumpet. And he goes to the angel, and he's saying how he was looking for his spirituality, and he thought he had figured it all out. And the angel tells him, there are things that you have to let go of and release, things that you're ashamed of, feel guilty of, or forgive about yourself and for others before you can go forward. So he's afraid, but he knows the angel's right, and he takes the trumpet and he sounds the trumpet, and the earth cracks open, and up comes up all of his past selves. All the things about himself that he was once afraid of facing and looking yourself in the mirror sometimes. The things that you've done in your past that you're ashamed of, you feel guilty for, you regret, that you are sorry, for the things you did to others and the things you allowed done to yourself even, that you didn't stand up for yourself. But now he sees there's nothing to be afraid of. And one by one, he begs forgiveness from his self in these different stages of his life or lives, and asks to be forgiven. And the souls forgive him, the part of himself. I'm saying it's all one soul, but they all forgive him for all the times that they were trying to teach him lessons in life, or us lessons in life. That's why it keeps happening again and again and again. You don't go to the next part of your life until you satisfy and learn the lesson. And this is a major arcana. It's one of those big secrets in life. Now, 3 times in the last month, we keep getting this card. So I have to say, as a general reading for the people that are coming back and watching this, including myself, that the Judgment card is saying you've been being called to a new life. When will you heed the call? So it is time to forgive your past selves, accept forgiveness for what you've done to others and others have done to you. And one by one, the Fool sees them all dissipate, and they go, and they're gone. And now he feels better. He feels free. He feels whole again. So he could start his new life. The past is the past. He leaves it there. This is about dealing with the present. So it's time to break free of those tombs that we keep ourselves in. These in the traditional tarot, it shows caskets opening up and people coming out. But it's time for us to release ourselves from these tombs. Heed the call to the new life. Cleanse, forgive, forget. Really, just let it all go and move forward to what's best for us. Now in the challenge, we have the 4 of Swords. Now the swords are our thoughts and our words. We are in a time of retrograde still with Libra. Mercury's in retrograde in Libra till the 9th. All right, so now you see the person is laying there with 3 swords facing him. They don't touch him. They like down on him, and one at the side. This card usually talks about you've been overdoing it. Either mentally you're just beating yourself up. We need to get out of our own way sometimes, and it's all tying into too with this part of forgiving ourselves and forgiving others, to let it go so that we could be whole again and have everything that's meant for us. I always wish you the best. And I tell you, it's time for you to wish yourself the best. So this card is saying it's time to lay down the sword. All right, if it's yourself that's beating yourself up and getting your own way, that I am that's getting in the way, I am not pretty enough, I am not skinny enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not as good at this at football as this guy is. These are those I am things, like some people say the mighty I am, that little ego that we keep telling you to flick off your shoulder. Get lost, okay? It's saying stop beating yourself up. This is a time for you to rest and relax, especially with this full moon. They talk about your energy, just relax, okay? It's time for you to really just do nothing. And I know in our world, in our society, that's considered being lazy. But there is a time when your body needs that respect, love, and rest and relaxation. Go take a salt bath if you can, or a bubble bath. If you have a jacuzzi, jump in it with your friends or your family. Go down to the beach, even if it's too cold in parts of the world you're in, walk along the shore. We are in that time of this watery feeling with our full moon. You know, it rises all of this up in us. Get by the water if you can. If you have one of those little fountains that plays water, do that. That beautiful water noise. For me, it's just very calming, and water is a conduit. Okay, so it draws things. It's a good place for you to meditate. It's a good place for you to rest by a brook, by a stream, like I said, a water fountain, anywhere that you can. I know a lot of people live in a city and it's not easy to. Even if you can run the bubble bath and go in a bubble bath, or just find something on the internet to play. If you're in an apartment in the city somewhere, you can't get to water. Get some beautiful recordings off the internet of water playing in the background. Close your eyes, even 10 minutes. Sit in your favorite spot and just breathe in and out 3 times and release. Let your mind just run. Let those 80,000 thoughts a day that you have just babble through. And then when you realize that you're really not thinking of anything in particular and your breathing has calmed, you're at peace. If there's anything you need help, guidance with, now is the time to ask Spirit that question. And the first thing that comes to you, that inspired thought, is the right thing to do, the answer. And it might not make sense, and it might not even be something you would think to do, but it is the answer. You know, when you meditate, it's like people say you're talking to God or your higher self. When you pray, you're talking to God or your higher self. Meditation is when God answers you, Spirit answers you, your angels answer you, your guides answer you, your higher self answers you. And it's without the ego. So here in this time, the advice is, the challenge is that you need to rest yourself. This is your challenge this week. Take some downtime, even after work. Kick your shoes off. Go walking in the grass if you have grass around you. Rub your feet in your carpet if you're stuck in an apartment. Feel how good that feels. Just do something nice for yourself. It's time to lay down the sword. Stop beating yourself up. Stop getting in your own way. Stop saying all those miserable things about yourself that you're not good enough. Stop feeling guilty. Stop feeling ashamed. Forgive yourself. This is a time to release all these things. With this full moon, Aries is that activator, you know, that initiator. It's taking action. Put the action into challenge yourself to just do the opposite. Just relax. You know, I bet that's the hardest thing for most of us to do, just to relax. And then the advice card here, we have the 10 of Wands. Now here it is again. You know, this is the burden, the things that you take on. I always say it's like that Elvis Costello song. He says it was a fine idea at the time, and then it was a brilliant mistake. You thought you could handle it all, and there's another full moon there. You thought you could handle it all. You're taking on all these excesses. Now, physically, you're starting to feel the drain. Okay, but then again, in this full moon, we do feel it draining, and it's time to respect that energy. It's time to recharge your batteries, either in the water, or if you can get out in the sun 10 minutes of the day. This is the time for you to do that. The 10 is that transcendence. So the good thing is, in the advice position, it's saying this burden is almost over. This time of drain is nearly over for you. You'll probably start to feel better after like the 9th or 10th of the month. You know, after the shadow period of the full moon passes, that draining period. So recharge yourself by relaxing, resting. Like I said, get by some water, get some sunshine, do something de-stressing. For me, reading a book is a guilty pleasure. And sometimes if I have the time, I'll read a few books in a couple of weeks it's just getting lost. You know, and then you finish reading the book and it's like, oh, I still have to say goodbye to my friends that I made in this book. But it's whatever you can do to lighten the load, to recharge your batteries with rest and relaxation, build up that mental realm. Okay, get in touch with yourself. This is the full moon. This is the time. You're supposed to be harvesting the seeds of what you planted in that new moon. Look and see, what have I brought forth? Have I? And if I have not, then what is it still that I obviously am hanging on to? We've had this card since the new moon. All right, and this is saying it, and we need to be doing this. Pluto, this is the card of Pluto. It went direct. Okay, we need to start respecting these things that need to change in our lives. Yes, on a global consciousness, many things are being affected worldwide. But on, like I said, a snapshot of you in this reading is saying these are the things that are meant for you to do. Now, in the resolve or the outcome, we have the Nine of Swords. Now, this is another card with this mental realm. Okay, we have all these swords coming at this lady. None of them are touching her. We could think that she's creating all of this. This is feeling depressed sometimes. This is feeling loneliness. This is feeling abandoned. This is feeling uncertain. There's an owl there, though, as you see, and that is representative of wisdom and clarity. And the swords can, like I say, cut through the bullshit. So it's time you need to really do that. Take a good hard look at what am I doing to myself, beating myself up. The 9 for me is in the physical. So mentally, you are taking on this heavy load, and not only is it mentally beating you up, it's draining you. You see, that moon is a different phase there. All right, so we need to work on this. Just know that your own thoughts are creating your misery. It is a vicious cycle. It is time for you to put the sword down. Take a rest. Maybe you could do an overnight somewhere, a weekend away. That's what I keep telling myself too. I do staycations. You know, I'm not able to afford to go anywhere or do anything. I don't have a significant other. So I just do things around the house or locally. Today I went to Sweetfield Farms. I loved it. It's a local farm. They had a maze. I went through that. It's very intuitive. I got lost. So I really need to pay more attention to what Spirit's telling me. And when I keep listening to them, instead of going right, I'm going left, I find my way out. So for you too, it's time for you to stop thinking those thoughts, those sabotaging, self-destructive thoughts. You are loved. And if there's no one there to hug you and tell you I love you, just think Spirit. You've got to have friends, family, or loved ones on the other side in Spirit. You say, well, I can't remember them. Well, they remember you. Your guides are with you. Your angels are with you. God, whatever you call your higher power, is with you. You are so loved. You deserve to be loved. This woman is so distraught. She's feeling so miserable, and you can see she's alone. And wallowing in that misery is bringing her more down and depressed. She needs to stop that. This is all around her in her own thoughts, her own head. Okay? So the resolve here is saying this is the outcome. You need to work on this. From the beginning of the week to the end of the week, I'm saying into next week, this is probably carrying over with that shadow of the full moon. The Mercury retrograde won't happen until October 9th. So maybe a lot of us will still be doing that. I haven't been sleeping for about 5-6 weeks. So I'm just getting beaten up with all these different eclipses, and the change of the season always knocks me for a loop. So it's time to recharge, okay, and regain that energy that you need. Okay, so it's time. It's saying this will be the end. This is going to be ending very soon. And here physically, not only is it draining you, but mentally, you're just annihilating yourself. Geez, I don't even think anybody could be as cruel to you as you are to yourself sometimes. And if this isn't happening for you, that you're doing to other people, you need to stop that too, because all the things you put forth reverberate back to you from the universe. Alrighty. Well, I hope you have a wonderful week. Please check out the other videos that I have up. I hope this one gets up too now. I'm going to see how long this is going to take. You might not get this till tomorrow, Monday or Tuesday, but I'll do my best. I always wish you the best. Please share the videos. Like I said, you are a channel. You are a messenger. If these readings make some sense to you and can help you, I'm so pleased that Spirit is there to help you. If they don't make sense to you at this time and they do down the road, remember the cards and have those aha moments, or share with others that you could say, wow, this makes sense to them in their life right now. I'm going to be the channel for that person. I'm going to be the conduit. They said we are all linked together. We are all one. And we all need to be there for each other. That's the only way things are going to work. When we start loving and changing ourselves, we will attract more loving and change in our lives and our world. So have a wonderful week. I do wish you the best. And I will talk to you next week. Bye.